In the lush hills of Puerto Rico's Mameyes neighborhood, life flowed peacefully amid verdant landscapes and close-knit communities. However, the tranquility of this picturesque setting would be shattered in October of 1985 when tragedy struck in the form of a devastating mudslide. The Mameyes neighborhood, located within Ponce, Puerto Rico, and nestled at the foothills of the area, was a place of beauty and serenity. Families had lived there for generations, building homes amidst the rolling hills and fertile valleys. Life in Mameyes was simple yet fulfilling, with neighbors coming together to celebrate milestones and support one another in times of need. However, tragedy was right around the corner. On October 5, 1985, a tropical wave entered the Caribbean and produced torrential rainfall across Puerto Rico. The rains caused severe flooding in the southern half of the island, which isolated towns, washed out roads, and caused rivers to exceed their banks. The Ponce area received a staggering amount of rain on October 5th, some recording as much as 4 inches in a 2-hour period. The rain was so intense that the Ponce radar was briefly overwhelmed. Subsequent showers fell on Mameyes every day thereafter until the disaster occurred. Witnesses insisted that during this period there were strange earth movements near the inceptive part of the slide, which were neither rare nor previously observed. In the pre-dawn hours of October 7, 1985, disaster struck with unimaginable force. The saturated hillsides surrounding Mameyes could no longer bear the weight of the relentless rainfall brought by the tropical wave. Without warning, the earth gave way, triggering a massive mudslide that descended upon the unsuspecting neighborhood with terrifying speed and ferocity. Homes were swept away and buried in an instant, their occupants caught off guard as the muddy deluge engulfed everything in its path. Screams of terror pierced the air as families scrambled to escape the torrent of mud and debris, their frantic efforts futile against the overwhelming force of nature. In a mere 10 seconds, the landscape of Mameyes was transformed into a scene of utter devastation, with destruction stretching as far as the eye could see. As the sun rose on the morning of October 7th, the full extent of the tragedy became apparent. Entire homes lay buried beneath layers of mud and rubble, their inhabitants trapped within the suffocating embrace of the landslide. Desperate cries for help echoed through the debris-strewn streets as survivors and rescuers alike struggled to make sense of the chaos unfolding around them. Amidst the devastation, a sense of solidarity emerged as neighbors banded together to aid in the search and rescue efforts. With shovels in bare hands, they dug tirelessly through the muck, determined to uncover any signs of life amidst the destruction. Every moment was fraught with tension as they prayed for miracles amidst the rubble. One man from the neighboring area gave his account of what transpired. Heriberto Rivera Sevilla was awakened by what sounded like an explosion. He lifted his newest baby, 3-month-old Enid, out of the bed and then knelt down beside the bed to pray. At 5 a.m., neighbors came to his house to tell him what had happened, and he took off to lend aid. In all, about 150 people, including National Guardsmen, worked to locate bodies with the assistance of 6 rescue dogs. However, efforts were hampered due to the early morning occurrence of the landslide and the continuing downpour of the rain. He recalled that he and others worked for 3 hours to free a woman from the wall that she was pinned under, and as they were finally carrying her out, she passed away in their arms. Heriberto Rivera worked in the rescue efforts for 15 days. In all, 50 bodies were recovered, but many more remained buried. As the days passed, the grim reality of the Mameas mudslide began to set in. The final toll of the disaster was staggering, with at least 129 lives lost and hundreds more injured or displaced. Families were torn apart, their loved ones taken from them in the blink of an eye. The once vibrant community of Mameas lay in ruins, the neighborhood now silent save for the sounds of sorrow and mourning. There are stories of people who lost their whole family on that fateful day, with many more losing childhood and lifelong friends. The death toll is the largest from a single landslide in North American history. In the aftermath of the mudslide, Puerto Rico rallied together to support the survivors and rebuild shattered lives and communities. Temporary shelters were erected to provide refuge for those left homeless by the disaster, while volunteers from across the island offered their time and resources to aid in the recovery efforts. Despite the immense challenges that lay ahead, the people of Mameas refused to be defined by tragedy. With resilience and determination, they began the arduous process of rebuilding their lives from the rubble, drawing strength from their shared experiences and the bonds of community that had sustained them through the darkest of days. The Mameas mudslide of 1985 remains a somber chapter in Puerto Rico's history, a reminder of the devastating impact of natural disasters and the resilience of communities in the face of adversity. Though the pain of loss may never fully fade, the lessons learned from the tragedy continue to shape Puerto Rico's approach to disaster preparedness and response, ensuring that the sacrifices of the past will never be forgotten. In the hearts and minds of those who lived through it, the echoes of the Mameas mudslide will forever reverberate, a solemn reminder of the power of nature and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Help us to spread this video by sharing. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more videos.
Buenos días, queridas amigas y amigos de Mameyes, compueblanos, ponceños, compatriotas puertorriqueños. Luego de la noche renace el día, y lo que fue penumbras y valle de sombras de muerte se convierte en imagen de luz y en prueba de vida.